The latest deployment in the hunt for Flight 370, Heartbleed leads to CRA leak, and how to get 815 million people to vote. Welcome to Globe Now, I'm Affan Chowdhry. A robotic submarine is the latest hope in the search for Flight 370. It's a piece of U.S. technology called Bluefin 21. In tech speak, it's called an autonomous underwater vehicle. Think of it as a smart torpedo. It's 5 meters long and weighs 750 kilograms. Its arrival marks the end of the search for pings, which haven't been heard in nearly a week. This has led searchers to the conclusion that the batteries in the black box have died. So to get to the dead black box, search crews will lower the submarine into the ocean. The Bluefin 21 will travel deeper than any whale or light can reach, to a depth of 4,500 meters. Just getting to that depth will take 2 hours. And then its side-scan sonar will send out pulses to capture acoustic reflections from the ocean floor. It'll move at about walking speed for about 16 hours. And then, before its 25-hour batteries run out, the Bluefin 21 will head back to the surface. Once above water, technicians will extract the data, which takes 4 hours to download. To scan the entire search area could take up to 2 months. It's a slow process, but search officials are hopeful that it will eventually solve this mystery. The Canada Revenue Agency has revealed the Heartbleed internet security bug is responsible for the theft of about 900 social insurance numbers. Heartbleed has been sending tremors across the web since it was first revealed last week. But this seems to be the first solid example of valuable data being stolen. Dave Lewis is a security advocate with Akamai, a content network which delivers about a third of all web traffic. He joins me via Skype from his home in Toronto. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you for having me.
How would CRA know that these SIN numbers were captured?
With regards to CRA, I can't speak to the specifics of their situation, but in all likelihood, they were reviewing their intrusion detection logs to see if there were attempts on this traffic.
Now, I remember last week when this story was first revealed that there was a suggestion that the bits of data were so small that, it was unclear how it could even be used. But now it appears that 900 SIN numbers have been stolen.
Yeah, and that's the thing of it, is you would be able to pull back snippets of information based on the initial assessment, but we've seen with researchers that they're actually able to pull back keys, email addresses, any number of passwords. So yeah, it is actually worse than originally.
Now, it's not just CRA that's been affected. It's been, sites like Tumblr, retail websites, Dropbox, all kinds of, websites have been affected. And they've suggested to people that they change their passwords. Is there any point in still doing that?
Well, the catch there is changing your password on a site that hasn't been patched only puts your password back into memory. If your site that you're dealing with has been patched, then you're safe to change that, as well as having their certificates rolled. So the problem is, for the end user, it's very difficult to discern whether or not a site has in fact patched their system. And the hope being there that the site has successfully communicated with their customer base saying, it is safe to do so.
So what is your advice to people?
My advice to people is, if you are not sure, send them an email, ask the question. As well, you may have received a communication from the site or your financial institution. As long as there's not a hyperlink within the email, because one of the problems that we're seeing is phishing attempts leveraging on this incident, so that people say, oh, change your password, click this link. No financial institution will send you an email with a link in it like that. They may send you an email, but there will be no hyperlink that could help capture your information.
So another thing to worry about, fake emails, on top of changing your passwords, on top of your personal data, being leaked by the Heartbleed bug. A lot of things for people to think about. Yeah,
and opportunists will take their chances wherever they find them. So yeah, they have to take the time to have a sober second thought when you receive an email that says, oh, come change your password.
I mean, you are a security advocate. I mean, is this the reality that people are going to have to live with in terms of their personal data?
Well, prior to this incident, this is something that, your personal data is something you should really be taking care of. You should take the time to understand where your information is going. Far too often people are willing to give up their personal information to sites without really thinking about the potential impacts of it. This just helps to hammer home that, yeah, you really have to know what you're doing when you're online. And most people do not have the wherewithal to understand that. But there are educational resources out there that there's a one program called Safe and Secure Online, where people can take the time to actually learn how to be safe online.
Thanks so much, Dave, for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Well, we want to hear from you. Are you concerned about having your data stolen from the CRA or anywhere else online via Heartbleed? Let us know. Tweet us at Globe Now. Well, India is in the midst of a national election, which is no easy feat for a country with over 1 billion people. The Globe and Mail's Ian Marlowe is there and reports that it's not just a technical challenge to cast all of those ballots, it's also a tribute to democracy.
The campaigning is really vibrant. There's tons of, millions of volunteers across the country waving flags, going door to door, and all these, different communities across a nation which is, incredibly diverse, from slums to jungles and mountains. I mean, you have 815 million voters going to the polls, and the Election Commission of India has to make sure that they have a polling booth within 2 kilometers of every single voter. Democracies like Canada, the EU, and the United States do not have to deal with any of the problems that India has to deal with, and everyone, from the poorest, illiterate, person who lives in the slum to, corporate executives, everyone goes out, votes, and gets the little ink on their finger. Orchestrating this massive election process just shows how seriously India takes that. And I think anyone who doesn't go out to vote in a liberal democracy that has it easier should really kind of hang their heads in shame, because it really shows us the power of people thinking that they can be enfranchised by the vote.
Well, that's it for Globe Now. Thanks so much for watching. Tweet us your thoughts and questions on today's program. Thanks again. I'm Affan Chowdhry.